Before we begin today's review of the blood pressure monitoring device, I want to tell you something about this little puppy, also from Wellue. It's called the Visual Beat. Looks like this. We've reviewed it already. This is the little module that straps onto a chest strap that you wear to get heart rate and ECG readings. And this baby just may have saved my life. Yeah, I got a story to tell you at the very end of today's video. But by way of update, I did want to mention that when we originally got this, we had a charging dock that snapped on and was a bit challenging to take off. And good news is it's been completely redesigned. Here is the actual one. You just got to see this. The little light blinks in here. Of course, when you plug it in, it's red. When it's charged, it turns green. You just unclip it that way. So the Visual Beat is now fully complete with a great, easy-to-use USB charger and an interesting story at the end of the video today. Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com. I'm always telling you guys, compare your watches and bands that do blood pressure with a cuff, with a calibrated cuff. But I don't know if you guys have got one or not. So I wanted to show you one of the most advanced, newest cuffs on the market that not only will give you a solid reading of your blood pressure automatically and remotely as well as on the screen here, but it can also perform ECG analysis as well. Wow. Where is it? Inside the box. What's it look like? It looks like it's in this bag. But before I open it, I want to share a little bit with you so you know where to get it. Go Wellue.com, directly from the manufacturer. It's a two-step device right on your arm. You can do blood pressure readings with an app that'll show you where you fit in the zones depending on your systolic and diastolic reading. $99. For the same $99, the same band does ECG. You work with the tips, the ends of the band, and hold them to generate an ECG chart right on your phone. So you have two advanced devices in one unit. Oh, did I mention? GoWellue.com. You use that link to get there and you'll get a 15% discount off of that price as well. So on the ECG section, what you basically do is hold the ends between your palms and just let it do its thing. It will automatically go cross over through your heart and prepare an ECG chart that has been highly tuned to make sure it's giving you the real deal. When you're finished, you can print out a report if you want to, archive it, send it to your doctor, do whatever you want with it. So what's it look like? Let's find out. Inside here, I've got a couple of separators. Let's take them out so we can get in. Oh, there we go. There's a charging wire. Can you imagine 500 some odd readings with this unit between charges? How many days are there in a year? Yeah, amazing. Okay, hey, it's the cuff itself. I thought it was in a package, but no, we're looking at the cuff. There's the unit, that tiny little thing. Does it just push out of here? I have no idea. It looks like it's Velcroed in here too. Yep, there we go. Whoa, all right. It's right here. We got buttons. We got the plates on the end. I'm going to charge it up, of course, make sure it's all set and ready. In the meantime, in terms of paperwork, we've got a few things. Start out with a little card. Having difficulties? Yep, you can call them directly or email them or whatever to get. They call it Get Wellue, but I'll tell you Go Wellue because that's our entry into the same store, same front door, and you got a 1-year warranty service that you can use. Contact them at service@vitomtech.company. Vitom is the parent company of Wellue. Okay, so you got that. Then we've got a quick guide that's going to show you the basic process of how you set it up. Get it big enough you can fit it in the screen. There's the main unit and all of the components. And blood pressure and ECG is in the BP2. The A is just blood pressure. So you want to make sure you order the BP2. You'll get a display that shows your systolic, diastolic, and heart rate when you measure it. And on the ECG recording, it's going to look like this, okay? And there's 1, 2, 3 that tells you about what those elements are here. Here are some of the symbols that you'll see on it when you fire it up. This is on the display that goes on it itself, and it shows you exactly how you want to align the arm cuff. You know, this technology is a much more sophisticated than the watches and bands that you wear that shoot diodes into your skin to get the blood pressure. But this is what you're going to use as your baseline calibration. This is the stuff I would trust, right? As giving you a really valid number to work with. Okay, here's a couple of different ways you can record the ECG between your hand and your knee or holding on to either end of it. And here's a couple of ways you can do it on your torso as well. So different ways to take the ECG with this device, and your medical professional or doctor may ask you to do it in one of these different ways to see some different aspects of your heart, because I bet if you play with it, you're going to find that you're going to see different kind of waveform generation coming out of the device depending on where you're holding it, and that can give different insight into your heart. There's the specs, and that is it, folks. We've got the manual. That's the quick start guide. Yeah, I'm going to page through it just in case it's not PDF'd on their website. So you have this as an archive. You can skip ahead in a little bit if you want, or now if you want, and dig right into the actual testing of the unit. But I want to make sure that you do have this reference. So if you get the unit, and if you're like me, you don't put all of your manuals in a common place. They get scattered around, they get lost. And then if you need to know something like exactly how far are you supposed to put it and where is it supposed to line up the visual display, if you miss and you don't know all that stuff and you need the manual, all right, here it is. Yep, there's the same things we saw in the quick start guide, but a little bit more attention to detail. And some errors that you might get and what they mean and how to take care of them. And some good stuff on maintenance, cleaning, and storage. And then real detailed info on the specs. So you guys that are medical, dive in here. Take a good look at this. I think you're going to be impressed that this particular device is really, really well manufactured and compliant in a lot of different ways. Electromagnetic compatibilities are listed here. More specifications related to it. Wow. Down to the frequencies. Okay. Much more than most of us want to know, but now you know. All right. I'm going to play with it. I'll get it on my arm and we'll get the app ready for you. Before you start, of course, you want to charge it up. And I suggest doing it overnight. You can just plug the little connector right in the very end and you're good to go. But you don't need it for taking the measurements. First thing I want to point out is it's self-contained. It lives in its own case, but it's a little tricky. So bear with me as we show you how to open it up. It's all Velcro focused. You unravel, you get to this funky little part here, and then it's just hanging out in the middle, right? And we'll show you in a second how you get ready to put it on your arm, but I want to show you how to put it back together again because it's a little tricky. You fold it here, okay? Fold it here, hold it down so it's flat like that. Then start wrapping with your hand and catch the Velcro, and then you can just wrap the whole thing up straighter than I do. That's, and it attaches right there. And that's, the whole thing is compact. You can throw it in a bag, in the glove compartment, wherever you want it, you'll have it with you. Now to get it ready for taking a reading, you have to use this puppy here. You take the end, okay, got to get this right. I'm going to turn it upside down. I'm going to put it through here. and I'll be able to flip it that way. And the instructions are on the outside. And now Mr. Tix, in all his professionality, is ready to wire it up. To begin with, though, I want to guide you through setting it up with the app, because you want to do that. You can do this separately by itself, but we may as well save some time and do the app together with it. The app for this guy is ViHealth. ViHealth. This is in the Google Play Store, or you can use the link in the show notes to take you right over there. I'm going to open it, but before I do, I want to start this. And notice it shows Bluetooth symbol. I'm going to hit open. It's going to be looking for this device. It's called BP2. There's the visual beat that we've reviewed. I'm going to connect to the BP2, and here we are. Now, we've got the history in here for blood pressure. I've got the history for ECG that I've done with this so far. And I've got a dashboard that lets us measure one or the other directly from the app. And then finally some basic settings, which includes turning on or off the heartbeat sound, which is really loud. So I'm going to leave it off for you right now. So we're going to come back over here. Let's do ECG first because it's easiest. I'm going to come into the ECG. Well, this is the history, but when you're with the device, the plates on either end are what you use for ECG, and I can collect it directly from here. If I wanted to do blood pressure, I would press the start button. If I want to do ECG or look at the history, I would press here. So I want to do an ECG. I'm going to press it. I touch here, and all of a sudden, right on the screen of this device, you start seeing the heart wave show up. And there's a little thermometer bar below it that is accumulating time. It's about a 30-second test, and it shows you your ECG-derived heart rate next to it. And I'm beating it about 74, 75 right now. We'll let this complete, and then I want to show you what it does over on the phone app. Okay. Regular ECG, heart rate. I come over here, and it should transfer. There, I switched it back to the blood pressure tab, and that's causing it to transfer over. 1 of 1. Come back over to ECG. There it is. You have the chance of naming it, doing stuff. And if I tap on it, I get the actual ECG chart. It gives you your height ratio at the beginning and the overall chart. And I touch it, and I can make it bigger. I touch it again, I can make it really small. So it has 3 different ranges of display, and I can tap here and make it really large. And can I tap this? No, I guess not. I can just show it to you here at this particular scale. And of course, you could probably send it out as well. There's the ranges. You can tap here, like I say, or you can tap on the screen itself. And here's where you send it out, or you can throw it away. So that's the ECG in the app. When this is on your arm, you can't really do it, on your arm. So this is the ECG reading is done directly on the device when you're holding it here and just cuddling it with its cuff. Okay. I'm going to come back here, and we're going to get ready to do blood pressure. For this, I got to put the cuff on. Can you see me? It's a little bit awkward. Okay, I've got this up above the crease of my wrist right there, and I got the strap coming down. I got to pull it around behind me and attach it back that way and have this pointed more or less toward me in line with the artery. Now, I should be sitting in a chair and blah, 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 but I'm not, so I'm going to hit the button here to start it, and it's now compressing the cuff automatically. I know that's not in focus. If I move that, maybe this will focus up for us. There we go. A little awkward to show you this thing working, and my arm is definitely not relaxed right now, but it should pump up to about 200, maybe a little lower. I hear the motor going. I don't know if you do. It's getting tight. Yeah. Okay, went to about 190. The flashing heart is the heart rate. It's picking up the beats. It's letting the air out automatically. It's not showing me a heart rate on the display, just the current pressure. And taking a while, a little longer than mechanical ones. There, okay. Oh yeah, 154 over 102 with a heart rate of 77. That's excessive, and I don't buy it. I think it's simply because it's in the wrong position for me. So I'm going to come back here to the blood pressure tab because I am already tethered. It is now copying it over, and here we go. When I tap on it now, I get a chart that's showing where it is and the value with the heart pulse rate, and a map, pulse pressure, and it's slightly in the red zone on this one. I could write a note, I could change the name of it, I could throw it away, and I can export it. And any of these, here's some earlier ones when I really was relaxed, way down in the green zone. So you see how critical it is that you set things up to do it properly. You get quiet, you get relaxed. It's better if you haven't had caffeine. Rest for at least 5 minutes before you do it. And yeah, just take 3 of them is typically what I do, with about 5 to 10 minutes in between. I'll get up, move around a little bit, drink some water, sit down, cuff up, and do it again. And then you got a variety of readings there to compare against. So you got blood pressure, you got ECG, you got the overall dashboard that's showing you the last one here, and then you've got your settings, and that's the app. Okay, anything else to tell you about this? Well, yeah, on the ECG, we did the basic one, touching the sides. But if you remember that quick start manual here, if you get into this, you see that that's lead 1. There's a lead 2 where you can put it against the inside of your knee to get a different kind of a reading. And then there's this lead 2, which is actually lead 3. I think it's a typo. You put it just above your navel on the heart side. And then there's another one, the chest lead, which is just under your breast, a little high over there. Now, I don't know why for all of those, but the guidance is that you can do that on any of these. But in all cases, you're using your left arm to hold the device, it looks like, on the left side, and then you touch your body with it. No, you're doing it this way, and you can see I don't practice for this. And then you touch your body on the left side by holding it with your right hand. There you go, right hand holding the right side of the unit, touching. Start the button, and you can get your reading. And last thing, it said for history, hold this for 2 seconds, and here you go. I've got next. There's the most current reading. And then there was the ECG that I did before that. We did that on, oh, look at that. And it even plays it for you. I have 9 total readings in here. There's an earlier blood pressure. We showed you that. Here's an earlier ECG that I did. And that's what that waveform looks like. GoWellue.com will get you there and get you a 15% discount. It's designed for measuring blood pressure and handling ECG and being able to integrate those and transfer them over to a phone app, and of course from there to your doctor if you need to. GoWellue.com. We'll see you over there. Well, hello again. I bet you didn't expect me to still be around. Oh, you can't get rid of me that easy? I have another product for you, just in case you don't need the full-on sophistication of a blood pressure cuff with ECG and everything else, but you still want wireless capability to be able to transmit the values that you get from a simple old-fashioned style reading to a smartwatch. This is what you're looking for. Again, GoWellue.com, get you 15% discount off of this one, and it's only $60. That's what it looks like, called Portable Professional Trends Trackable in your phone. And basically you have these kind of displays that you'll see in your phone. There, is that readable? I hope so. Trends and individual readings, as well as your heart wave from the PPG, from the pulsing going through. And Easy, easy, easy. You just enter the app and you take your measurement like you normally would, pumping it up and letting it bleed off, and share your results if you want to. So basically you've got the cuff, and it's like any cuff. It's a Velcro attached thing. It shows you which way you're going to put it on your arm, and you've got the valve here that you use to release, to press it up and turn it on here after you've charged it with the charging cable so that you got power in it. I'm not sure what you do with that. Anybody know? Probably is in the manual. And a little bag with nothing in it. Oh, I probably had that in it originally. Okay. And a user's manual. This is where we get down to the goodies. So we're going to page through this. If you get this cuff, or even if you have a cuff already, you may want to take a look at these notes to make sure you're doing things right, because some of this is universal, will apply to any kind of a cuff. And of course, some of it is specialized to this quasi-electronic and standard cuff. The positioning, how you want to sit with your feet both flat on the floor and your arm at heart level, all of that is standard. And folks, seriously, if you're going to do the cuff thing, do it right so that you get a really solid baseline reading. Now, many of you who are looking at getting the bands and watches that say they do blood pressure, they're doing that against a universal standard, usually 120/80. But your blood pressure obviously is going to be different. So if you take a nice resting heart blood pressure reading with this calibrated cuff or the more sophisticated one we just looked at, then you can use that information. Now, some of the apps will let you put that in. Say you're 185/90 usually. You can tune that into the app for the watch. And then when you're using a watch or a band and it gives you a blood pressure reading, it'll be against that, a little higher or a little lower than the standard that you put in. So use a calibrated cuff. It's a great investment for only $60. Oh, excuse me, 15% less. If you go with GoWellue.com, go into their website, search for the portable professional trends. It'll look like this on the screen, and just put it in your cart and check out. You'll get the discount at the end. And then you'll have your baseline cuff that you can use anytime you want to. The whole family can use it, okay? Thanks for watching, gang. Here you go for this one. And don't forget, we've got this other more sophisticated one for $99 that does both blood pressure and ECG, and it automatically inflates and deflates. You don't need to use the pressure thing, but it's a little bit more money. But again, 15% off, GoWellue.com. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching, gang. If you recall at the beginning of this long video, I mentioned I have an interesting story about this product, the Wellue Visual Beat. This is the chest strap that you wear it with the electrode that make contact to your chest, and this just sits right in the middle of your chest. And yeah, I was wearing this because I had some yard work to do, quite a bit actually, and so I just let it go, and it started recording data. And here is the transfer after the significant event that happened for me to the app, and this is a screenshot of it. You see here on Sunday, September 27th, about 9 in the morning, I started doing yard work, getting a little above my 120 threshold for aerobic exercise, but well below my 150 anaerobic zone. And that was going along fine for hours. No breakfast, lunch, no breaks, a little bit of water. Yeah, I didn't treat my body well in that 4.5-hour event. And as you can see, at a certain time, something went wrong, seriously wrong. And this thing started vibrating like crazy. Now, when it got into the yellow zone, I'd feel a little brr every couple of seconds. Brr. Told me that I'm in my fat-burning zone. I'm in my aerobic zone. I'm okay, but I'm above sedentary. But when it started going brr, 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 can you spell that? Brr, brr, I knew something was wrong. And I was feeling a little dizzy, too. This is a blow-up of that section of time right down here from about 1 o'clock till about 1:30. It wouldn't stop. I stopped. I took a break. I took some water. I rested. but it didn't stop. I could feel it, double vibrating. I knew something's wrong. If I didn't have this on, I probably, knowing me, would have just continued and jumped up and kept working. But I didn't. I stopped, I went inside, and I waited. Now, from about 1:45 until 14:44, look at this. Well above my 150 average of 151, it stayed really high, didn't drop down. And I'm not exercising, folks. I was resting. I was laying down, and I got this. So I ran some ECG charts. Now, any of you guys out there, medical, these are different minutes, the first, second, third, fourth, fifth minute. Check these charts out. That's what I'm getting. They're really close together, but they're regular. Now, I've seen AFib where you get really crazy numbers and it's just totally irregular. But this is regular, but it's extremely fast. There's the first minute. There's the second minute, exactly the same. The third, fourth. The fifth, I'm getting a little bit of noise because I'm moving around. I'm ready to, stop this thing already. Yeah. It wasn't until much later on Sunday, September 27th, after 4:42, that I did this whole thing again, and I had dropped back down. Everything was fine with the heart rhythm, and it wasn't vibrating, but I was wearing it, and I got this data here in that zone of 3.5 hours. I figured, okay, everything is settled down. So my question to you, should I check in with a doctor, a cardiologist? Should I just write it off as not having enough nutrition and hydration? What do you think? What I think, I'm going to wear this every time I exercise. I think it might have saved my life.